Oh yeah. Protect fucking February. Oh, there's Shane's monster box. Here's Shane's monster box. He's been looking to get a smaller box.
That's a baby.
That's 55.
That's what Shane needs for the other box for us to use.
This will be the shop box.
Well, no, he's got 2 shop boxes. We need this one for nuts, bolts, and random parts from cars.
Oh.
Well, since Joey's not here anymore.
Just extras that he doesn't put back on.
All right. Well, Joey's not gone. That was pretty much a primary tool loadout for his.
Yeah, he did have one drawer that was full of that, right?
2. And 1 for snacks.
Oh, all right. Well, that's why you get 15 drawers in your box.
That's right.
2 full of nuts and bolts that you've acquired over your 10 years of being in the
Yeah.
business.
Random coils that still kind of work from old engine jobs. Several boxes of gloves. So what is new and what is the latest and greatest? Somebody keeps asking me about this goddamn Sunex cart. They said they heard it's good stuff. They asked what my opinion was. I don't have one because I don't have any ownership of any of these in the past. What's the deal with it?
I think they're a great cart. I think they're a little too short. I'm only 5'8". You kind of got to bend over. That's the only real thing I don't like about it. Handles are good. They just screw them from the back, but they've got the same detents that everybody uses. Matco, Monster, Cornwell. Everybody uses those rubberized detents that are replaceable. It's a good starter cart is what I think. Or somebody that has a small amount of stuff at home, because you have the tray that flips out.
Maybe like an at-home thing, huh?
Yeah, you have the tray that flips out so you can put stuff on it. You have over here on this side, drops down, holds your screwdrivers. So you could put a basic toolkit in it, something like that gear wrench one you could break down.
I was going to say, this is interesting. It comes with the bit driver. Somebody was asking me if in the half-inch sockets, and I forgot. I don't remember looking. I remember it's been a while. Do the half-inch sockets come in shallow and deep? They were wondering that.
They only come in shallow in that set. Everything else is in both shallow and deep. Metric, standard, quarter, 3/8, and then your half-inch is metric and standard, but only in shallow. The improvement on this kit versus the old kit is that it's 6-point, not a combination of 6 and 12. It also has the 84 tooth ratchets in it versus their entry-level ratchets.
So probably buy the half-inch set separately then or something?
No, you get this because you're getting this set. You're getting this set. You actually go higher up to 1.5 inches. This one's only going to 1.25 inches. So you're getting those 2 sets within that. All that you would need is deeps then. And in my opinion, you should buy deeps and impact anyways.
Oh, so yeah.
Just buy an impact deep set and you're done.
You know, if Gear Wrench makes a... hang on. You know, if Gear Wrench makes... see, because Mike's got the snap-on mid-length universal impact socket set.
No, they do not have a mid-length right now. So in the impact style, they have the pinless that are in a shallow. Matco has the pinless that are in a deep. I believe, I can't put an exact on it because nobody will say for sure. The Gear Wrench is owned by Apex. Apex bought out Armstrong. Armstrong was making the pinless for Matco. I can never get an exact on it. I talked to an old Matco dealer that did it for 12 years, was an independent, and he said that that's what he heard through the grapevine, but you know, rumors. So right now, Gear Wrench just has a pinned and a pinless that are in short, and then they have a deep, and the deeps are pinned, and it doesn't matter if it's a 3/8 or a half-inch, they're both pinned.
Okay. One personal question I'll ask you, and you can choose to answer or not, because I had been asked in one of the previous videos that I did. Everyone wants to know, they have not seen a Gear Wrench truck in their area. They want to know, when you went the independent route and you chose to go Gear Wrench, is that like just for our area kind of thing, a thing that you did when you left Cornwell, or are there other like Gear Wrench distributors out and about?
There's over 350 Gear Wrench distributors out right now.
How do they like figure out if there's one for their area?
What they would have to do is contact Gear Wrench directly, send an email through, or you can always give them, I'll give you my email address, email me, and then I'll forward that on to some of the guys. So what they're doing is Gear Wrench had guys that would follow me around. You guys had seen them. Yeah. they had guys that would follow around in a Sprinter van and do free giveaways to try to promote the business. They've done away with that, and what they're going to do is actually create like a regional kind of manager. We're under no contract with Gear Wrench.
So you're not required to buy X amount
No.
every single month like Cornwell did, where they had a quota that they wanted you to sell.
No, the big benefit with that is that you're part of Gear Wrench Street Team. So the more that you buy, the more rewards you gain. The rewards will then turn in to get you hats, t-shirts. You will get pocket screwdrivers, things of that sort that then you can use as giveaways or promotions
Gifts.
to package with other stuff, gifts. That's what I did at the end of the year, a lot of the stuff that I
was
gave
cool.
away. So I really like that, but I'm under no obligation with Gear Wrench to do anything. They just ask, hey, will you try to buy, here's what we'd like to set for a goal. Will you buy 30,000 your first year, 40,000 your second year? Well, obviously if your business is growing, it's gonna go, and the more products that they start putting out, the more options you have. So they have something as silly as a slide hammer. I always keep the OTC ones. Well, if it's competitive in price, they're both Asian made. If it's easier to warranty the Gear Wrench one versus the OTC, then I would much rather do that when there's an issue. The OTC ones have been great, but now if it's easier to warranty and we're talking 10% less for the customer, then obviously I'm gonna go with that. It's gonna be a product that's easier to sell, a product that's easier to warranty, so all around a better product.
So obviously with tool distribution and you driving around, Gear Wrench stuff's fairly easy for us as mechanics to warranty, but what if you don't have a Gear Wrench truck, but you've purchased like a lot of Gear Wrench, whether it's online or like in a store that might have closed down like Sears?
So stuff like that, it becomes a little where guys that will take that if they found a truck and went back to it. You'll have guys that are like, hey man, you know, I don't mind warranting some of the stuff for you, but if you're not purchasing tools, that just becomes a money factor of it. You know, if a guy buys $10,000 from someplace else and he's trying to warranty, you know, here I need 400 bucks here, 400 bucks there, that becomes a little bit of a problem. I don't ever have an issue if the guys are buying from me on a regular basis. If somebody's bought it though from like a Sears, then trying to warranty it is you've got to take it back to a store or find a dealer. Otherwise, again, you have to contact Gear Wrench directly and see if they have a program to do your own picking ticket and then mail it in to them.
I was gonna say, do you know if that process is very difficult for somebody to mail it in, or what the turnaround time is?
I don't know. I know with the other big manufacturers, Matco, Mac, Snap-on, and Cornwell, they had programs where you could do that. It was basically putting it on a sheet of paper or a spreadsheet, mailing it into them. So they have a copy, you have a copy, and then you're looking at 4 to 6 weeks
and
talking
then
to the dealers.
That's as long as the tool doesn't look like it was mistreated. Otherwise, they charge you for the replacement, which I just found out from Matco.
Correct. Or there's times where there's been a few things that I've sent into the distributors that I purchased from, and they didn't feel that it was an warranty item, so they just scrap it. And then I don't get credit for it, so then I have to inform the customer, hey man, they scrapped it because it was for misuse or abuse. That's how they deemed it.
Nice.
So.
Well, thanks for the Q&A, man. I appreciate it, guys. We'll see you guys back at the house for beers, and we'll pick up on this conversation. We'll talk about a few more things, and I'll give you a tech tip for the day. What's going on, everyone? Justin again, as always. Thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. So, Gear Wrench Tuesday is done and over with. We did get the new monthly flyer from ProTech. So, we will be reviewing the February ProTech catalog of 2020. This will be the second catalog of the year, and I'm wondering what's new with Gear Wrench. So I'm going to give this a thumb through and select some of the things that I think that are new, cool, or kind of intricate to where it would be worthwhile in getting. I saw a lot of different things in here that kind of reminded me of some other products that I've seen in the past that you guys might recognize as well. And then I'll share my final thoughts and opinions about that, but I'll do so in a separate video in order to keep this one relatively short. Okay, topic for the day. So you did get a chance to hear from Jeff. He did explain how you can get in touch with Gear Wrench to find out if there is a Gear Wrench tool distributor in your county or area code, because they do have Gear Wrench tool distributors nationwide. If you do not currently have one, you might reach out, email them, shoot them an email, find out. He also briefly covered the process in which to get your tools warrantied by Gear Wrench by submitting an email showing them what was damaged, possibly sending it on in if they have an address, and then they will make the decision overall if it's warrantable and if they can send it back to you or send you a brand new or replacement if you can't go into a store and exchange it. Now, I know that some stores actually do support the product, and Sears is out of business, as I had previously discussed, but other stores still carry gear wrench. Some of those stores would include, but are not limited to, I believe Napa supplies gear wrench. I believe you can also find gear wrench at, was it Lowe's or Home Depot? No, I take that back. It was Tractor Supply. Tractor Supply had gear wrench. And I'm sure there's another one that I'm missing here. I know that CarQuest used to supply gear wrench as well. We no longer have a CarQuest up here in our area, but I'm sure there's still CarQuests available that you can return them to as well, amongst other stores. I've never been to a Menards, but maybe Menards also carries gear wrench. So food for thought. As far as warranting things out on Amazon, I'm sure it's a similar process. Reach out to them, email them back, etc., etc. Another little tech tip for the day, though, you're not always going to run into the best situation when it comes to an automotive repair. Today I was working on some Mitsubishi Montero. This thing was a bit older, I want to say mid to late 90s, somewhere in there. Looked like it came from back east. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, it did have New Hampshire plates on it. And I'll say this, all I was going to do was replace one of the flange gaskets on the passenger side for this exhaust manifold. And the hardware was so tough, so rusted. I had to use an oxyacetylene torch set that we had at work to heat up the bolt and rust and spray PB Blaster and rust penetrant on it, let it sit there and soak. I had to work it back and forth with a 1/2 inch ratcheting kind of bar, the big one I have from Snap-on. You just kind of work it back and forth and hopefully clean the threads out as you go along. Maybe hit it with a wire brush. Some of those threads are going to be so boogered up though, you might run into a situation where you simply cannot get the nut off. This happened to me today and I knew it was going to happen, but before I started on it, I actually told my service writer and shop owner, hey look, something is going to break. At some point, I'm going to either have to use an extractor, I'm going to have to cut it, or we're going to have to replace the manifold. I specified that. And if you run into the situation or you know you're getting ready to, before you dive in too deep and get so deep you can't go backwards and put it back together if the customer can't afford it, you stop what you're doing and you tell somebody first. That's the best piece of advice that I can give you for a tech tip for the day. Well, at any rate, I was told to proceed. The stud started spinning. I was able to cut the nut off, hoping that I can shoot the stud the opposite direction through the manifold. Unsuccessful. Hoping that tomorrow, oh no, not tomorrow, I'm sorry, Thursday, I can come back to it, cut it flush, and then shoot the stud all the way through because we got to get approval first from the customer. So that'll pretty much wrap it up for this video, guys. Like I said, I wanted to try to keep it as short as possible, but I wanted to give you your tech tip for the day. I wanted to reiterate some of the things that Jeff had touched base on as far as gear wrench warranty and tool distribution because you guys have been asking the questions. I got you answers today. Not really any new products on there, but we did get a chance to check out a couple of things. And to let you guys know, we're going to be doing our ProTech catalog review. If I don't get a chance to do it tonight and prep it for tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow and shoot it out to you guys tomorrow night. That's all I got for this video. Cheers to those of you that have your beers. We'll see you next time. Deuces.